All right, for all you motherfuckers watching this later, if there are any of you motherfuckers watching this later, I am your host, Kevin Michael Talbert, the one and only Bleak Narratives at your cervix. Tonight we're going to get into some really great stuff. We got Chris coming in from New York. He's going to help me settle some stuff for another buddy in New York. It ought to be pretty slick. They've got some pretty similar elements to their case, pretty similar claims that can be made, and some pretty similar ways that one might seek redress from the courts. So we're gonna see what's up. As always, fucking this is not legal advice, but it is not safe for work, not safe for life. But at the same time, man, fucking. I would certainly listen to what's being said tonight. There's going to be a lot of knowledge dropped, as Chris and I generally do. We don't fuck around, so no fucking in circles here. Just gotta get my equipment ready, pull up some screens, and we'll be on our way. So I'm gonna run a video until then, so that there's nothing for anybody to bitch about. Bam. What you think of that shit, homie?
Well, here we go again. Get up. A little something for your ear hole. Get up. Ripping apart of my soul again. Get up. Disturbed in the house, we're dropping the plates. You said it couldn't be done to me that.
Okay, but the defendant isn't here.
Well, I believe there's a mistake. I was led to believe somebody here believes I made a claim to that name, so when can I speak to the claimant?
Who?
Who's claiming I made a claim to that name?
What are you talking about?
Well, I came to the so-called court for some...
Along with that order, he needs the one finding.
Okay, I can do that. So you're a witness for the person, you're not actually the named defendant?
Well, I was led to believe the name belongs to the United States. The United States is the owner of that name.
Well, if that person isn't here, they'll be found committed for failing to appear.
Failing to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Who's claiming that?
If that person isn't here, and no order is entered on their behalf, and they're not presented at contested hearing, then they will be found committed for failing to appear.
How can a name answer to you?
So what you're saying is you'd like to contest?
Well, I'm just a witness. I believe there's a mistake. I believe somebody here believes I made a claim to that name. And I came so you guys to correct this mistake.
Does he need to sign the committed one?
I think so.
Okay. Alright, okay. So signing off where it says defendant. We just need both orders together. So you're either that person or you're not.
Well, I'm a witness for
Thank
that
you.
name. I came here to give first-hand testimony. And I believe somebody here believes I made a claim to that name. So when can I speak to that claimant?
Well, if they're not here, they can't consent to go to contested hearing, so you won't be called as a witness.
Well, I've been known to use that name.
You have, so you
Yeah.
are the defendant.
How can I be a name? Are you the claimant or who's the claimant?
Or you have the claimant. I represent the plaintiff.
You represent-
Case, okay.
You represent the plaintiff, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you spoke to the plaintiff?
You're speaking to me right now.
Well, when was the last time you spoke to the claimant? Somebody's claiming something, right? Is somebody claiming that there's a controversy in concern to that name?
Okay, so that person will just be marked as failing to appear.
Did I just give you first-hand knowledge that I've been known to use that name?
You can either talk to me,
Well,
and we can work out a deal.
how can I be a name or how can I own a name? Can you explain that to me?
Okay,
Please.
we'll save you for the end.
Sure.
Okay. So it looks like you were given a citation for expired meter.
You mean the name was charged, right?
So was there anything wrong with the meter?
You mean the name? You're talking about the name? Or are you talking about me?
Let's skip ahead and talk about the meter. Was there something wrong with it?
Well, I want to ask you, do you have any first knowledge that I am that name? I mean, I believe there's a mistake. I came to the court here because I was led to believe that somebody here, there's somebody claiming that I made a claim on that name. So I was
Okay.
wondering, how am I liable for that name? Who owns that name? Because I've been known to use it, but who owns it? How am I liable for that name? And I would like to deal with this matter honorably. Where's the proper notice? Where's the meeting of the minds? That I agreed with, the claimant that I am the name or that I own the name. I mean, if I can meet with the claimant, I'd be glad to.
All right. So that's always been a personal favorite of mine, even way back before the Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit. You know, where now that dude sounds so much like Johnny Depp. I always thought that before, but geez, Louise, it's hard to
That's on Jay
listen to that
Heritage.
shit. Anyways, Christopher, how we doing, sir?
Oh, all right, man.
I love the
Going
front
into
drop there, man. That's
work.
fucking that's classy.
What's that?
I love the front drop there. That's fucking classy, man. I like that
that's
shit.
pretty cool. It just happened like that. I just looking for somewhere to prop the phone up on.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, shit. I guess I've already got you up to speed, kind of on what's going on here. I've got a buddy that's actually on the other side of Buffalo from you. I guess fucking not too far away. That's
Oh
been
yeah.
falsely arrested and detained under some warrants that couldn't be fucking produced or wouldn't be fucking produced. I'm assuming couldn't be. Uh, so I figured I'd bring you in just because your knowledge is extensive, and that's even before it gets down to the local level like it has. So I thought it would be kind of maybe conducive to this guy's court hearings to maybe hear what you had to say on the process. He was unable to join us tonight because of the time, but if you
Oh, he
don't
was.
mind. Nah, no, he's not able to make it, man. He just got out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude's fucking
I have to do another stream with him or something. Interested in talking with him.
probably stressed
But
out to the
man,
gills.
did
You
you
know
see
how
that?
it is, how they're dying on me.
That guy. I think
What's
he was a
up?
friend of yours. He was on USFL. Did a video on him on his court Zoom hearing.
What's up?
I forget the guy's name.
Yeah, they did what?
USFL did a video with the reviewing this guy's court hearing, and this other channel that was bashing him. And I think it was your buddy there that we did a stream with.
Oh, it could have been. It could have been Stephen Lawton.
I don't know. It was in Michigan. The guy was in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it could have been. Could have been. There's been a. I've been working with a lot of people lately, and it looks like this thing that I'm about to jump off into is going to be fucking massive. Man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for all the people involved. I'm working with some really, really intelligent, really gifted people. We all have this commonality that we
Yeah,
hate this
cool.
fucking beast system. So,
Well, yeah.
so let's see. Let's try this fucking Saul Goodman AI, huh?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Ask it some general questions, and I got my current paperwork here. The newest fraud that they can't even believe. The shit that they try to pass off,
This is gonna be great.
do pass off.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Uh,
They got my weight here is
Browser
180.
can't. Oh, because it's trouble here. We'll see what happens. As always, Gage, StreamYard is fucking horrible. Please do something to fix your fucking platform, please, please, please. So, man, I'm trying out this Apple. Not, it just doesn't even press like a regular keyboard. Doesn't make any fucking sound. It's something else.
Good, I hate that tone.
Oh, fuck. That fucking train, man.
Well, the sheriff's office acknowledged receipt of my most recent FOIL request.
Yeah.
They were going complete silent.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, what do I got? With the question? What do you want me to go ahead with, Bleak? Want me to ask it a question or?
We're just gonna go fucking old school, dude. I'm just gonna go off my phone here.
Okay.
We'll go off GPT or Gemini.
Okay.
I don't know why I've strayed from it anyways. Of course I'm gonna have fucking problems with everything I try to do tonight. So let's see, Geminizzle. Where we at? What do you want to do? You want to start with challenging jurisdiction?
Yeah, well, I think those are the issues are challenging jurisdiction and challenging the falsity of these so-called warrants because I mean they're fraudulent to begin with in so many ways, but the ones that they presented from the public defender's file are dated from last year, so they've already been fraudulent as they are. They've already been served when they kicked my door in, and you know, are they claiming that they could serve a warrant however valid more than once?
Potentially.
You know what I mean?
I mean, potentially.
Because, well, this is dated 5/22/2023. Okay, this
Right.
bench warrant. I won't go into why it's fraudulent. There's so many ways. We'll be here all night. But just on that aspect alone,
Right.
it's dated 5/22/2023. On 6/05/2023, they kicked my fucking door in, and I was falsely imprisoned for 18 days because of this bench warrant and this one. And this is the first that they presented them, even though I requested from
So
the
I've
court.
got your audio cut there.
So, I mean, if I yeah, okay. I don't know why. I mean, so I guess the problem I'm finding is what's the important thing then? To challenge jurisdiction? or to challenge the validity of these warrants, which is gave rise to me being there
Right.
in the first place. You know, but I don't want to challenge it in a venue that does not have jurisdiction.
Right. So I've got a document here that's basically demands to be met by arresting officer. If you want to start there, or we can go somewhere else.
But that's granting jurisdiction to a court that doesn't have jurisdiction, isn't it?
Sure, sure. So I've got a false imprisonment. Let me show you my window, and then you can help me. You can help me pick here where you think we should be
Okay.
starting here, because I've got so much fucking shit. Ah, fuck. It's not in here. Okay, here we go. So you'll have to just pick where you want to go. So the arrest folder is empty. You'll have to just tell me what you think as far as the stuff here.
A notice of abatement. Notice of abatement for facially void
Oh shit.
warrant.
Right.
You know, I know where
Notice
to
of
find that. It's
abatement
on,
for facially void warrant.
yeah,
Okay,
you can
hold
find
on.
that
I'll bring
on
that up with Gemini right now.
you can find that on internally displaced people .org.
Hey, what is a notice of abatement due to facially void warrant?
Notice of abatement due to facially void warrant. A breakdown. A notice of abatement due to facially void warrant is a legal document issued by a court that essentially declares a legal proceeding invalid because the warrant used to initiate it was defective or flawed. This typically occurs when the warrant itself is missing crucial information, is improperly issued.
It was breaking up there. I didn't hear everything it
Or
said.
violates a person's constitutional rights. Key components establish probable cause that a crime has a city. The warrant proper issuance. The warrant must be issued by a judge or magistrate who has the legal authority to do so. Consequences of a facially void warrant. Abatement of proceedings. If a warrant is found to be facially void, any legal proceedings initiated based on that warrant can be dismissed or abated. This means that the case will be stopped, and the accused person will, in some cases, individuals who have been wrongfully arrested or detained due to a facially void warrant may be entitled to legal remedies, such as compensation for damages or wrongful imprisonment. Note, the specific laws and procedures related to facially void warrants can vary depending on the jurisdiction. It's always advisable to consult with an attorney if you have questions about your specific legal situation. Would you
Sounds one correct.
Yeah, it's breaking up. What did you say, too?
Can you break down comprehensively how to challenge a facially void warrant in court?
challenging a facilitated warrant in court, understanding
Facially void warrant.
facially means on the surface, or
Okay, again, but with facially void warrant and not facilitated.
facially void warrant. A breakdown. A facially void warrant is a legal document that's deemed invalid on its face, meaning that it is clearly defective or flawed without requiring further investigation. This typically occurs when the warrant itself is missing crucial information, is improperly issued, or violates a person's constitutional rights. Key components
Fucking Christ.
of a facially void warrant. Lack of probable cause. The warrant must be based on sufficient evidence to establish probable cause that a crime has been committed, and that the person to be arrested is likely the perpetrator. Specificity. The warrant must clearly identify the person to be arrested and the crimes that they are accused of committing. Proper issuance. The warrant must be issued by a judge or magistrate who has the legal authority to do so. Consequences of a facially void warrant. Abatement proceedings. If a warrant is found to be facially void, any legal proceedings initiated based on that warrant can be dismissed or abated. This means that the case will be stopped, and the accused person will no longer face charges related to that specific incident. Potential legal remedies. In some cases, individuals who have been wrongfully arrested or detained due to a facially void warrant may be entitled to legal remedies, such as compensation.
All right.
Right. So that is the thing to challenge. But how do I challenge? Do I have to give jurisdiction to the court to challenge that?
Hold on.
Because they want me to go in there as a defendant against these new so-called charges that they when they should have never been on my property without a valid warrant.
Here we go. Right. So here's him answering your question.
In a facially void warrant without granting jurisdiction. Understanding the risks of challenging a warrant. When challenging a warrant, it's crucial. This means that you should not take any actions that could be construed as acquiescing to the court's authority or waiving your right to challenge the warrant. Challenge a facially void warrant without granting jurisdiction is to file a motion to dismiss the case.
It's breaking up too bad, man.
In this motion, you argue that the court lacked responses. When responding to the charges or allegations against you, be careful to avoid providing any substantive arguments or evidence that could be interpreted as acknowledging the preserve your rights. Throughout the process, ensure that you are preserving your right to challenge the warrant. This may involve making specific objections or statements to the court to clarify that you are not waiving your rights. Or, consult with an attorney. It's strongly recommended to consult with an attorney experienced in criminal law to guide you through the process of challenging a facially void warrant. They can help you craft your arguments, navigate procedural requirements, and protect your rights. Key considerations. Timing. Act promptly to file your motion to dismiss, as there may be time limits in place. Specificity. Clearly and concisely state the grounds for your challenge, focusing on the specific defects in the warrant. Avoid waiving rights. Be mindful of any actions or statements that could be seen as waiving your right to challenge the warrant, such as entering a plea or participating in court proceedings. By following these steps and consulting with an attorney, you can increase your chances of successfully challenging a facially void warrant without inadvertently granting the court jurisdiction.
All right. Where does that leave you?
Attaching a notice of special appearance to it, I guess. That leaves them the only power they have is to
So I'm going to go through these files here, man. Just take a look. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Notice of special appearance.
So
that leaves them only the
listen
power
up.
to dispose of it.
So I've got all of this stuff. Is there anything in here that's tickling your fancy, so to speak?
I can't read that.
Okay. Hold on. Fuck. How about that? You'll have to just go full screen. You'll have to click in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there on your display, and it'll take you to full screen. You seeing anything?
Hang on.
No?
Hang on.
I am hanging on.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you heard me. Sorry.
You're good.
Arresting officer kidnapping. What does that say?
Arresting officer kidnapping. I don't know, but we're about to find out. So What do we got here? So this is going to be the authority of the state of Texas. We'll just have to roll with it. So I, your name, being duly sworn, do state upon oath that I have personal knowledge and have good reason to believe, and do believe, based upon the following information, on date, principal was physically seized in his person by arresting officer while said person was prominently displaying a deadly weapon. That's a high felony. Principal was searched, handcuffed, and placed in a patrol car by arresting officer after making the warrantless arrest of principal. Arresting officer had a specific duty as prescribed by Article 14.06 of the Texas Criminal Code of Procedure to take principal to the nearest magistrate. Arresting officer having made no such effort to locate a magistrate or to ascertain whether or not a magistrate would make himself available for the purpose of examining into the sufficiency of the allegations against principal, took principal directly to the jail name where principal was incarcerated, held for an extended period, and then subject to coercive, intimidating, humiliating, and subjugating booking procedure that would have been cleared of violation of law had principal been brought before a magistrate and no probable cause was found. Arresting officer acted in concert and collusion with jailer while both were in the act of denying principal in the due course of law of the state of Texas. It is further the assertion that and specific allegation of principal that said mistreatment was intended to facilitate other criminal acts by other actors in order to coerce an improper plea bargain from principal in furtherance of an ongoing criminal conspiracy participated in by arresting officer, jailer, et al. So it looks like he's also wrote a petition for writ of habeas corpus and attached it to this. And I charge that heretofore and before the making and filing of this complaint on or before the day of blah, 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 in the county of blah, 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 state of Texas, official did then unlawfully, willfully violate section 20.04 of the Texas Penal Code titled aggravated kidnapping against the peace and dignity of the state. Let's see what this is. It's a certificate of service, I'm sure. Jurat statement. So that's about all that was.
That's pretty good. That's got some good stuff in it. Because I did raise hell too about not being taken directly before a magistrate. Because all they care about is keeping that jail full.
Oh my fucking god! Have a shit that's gonna have shit that you're gonna need for. You want to look through here some more?
What?
See, this is a pretty handy thing right here. I don't know if it's gonna share the audio. Let me know if the audio comes through.
Okay. So I have some breaking information, but so March of 2020. Well, this is something I know already. March of 2020. This lawyer that wrote me.
Can you hear this at all?
Breaking up in a bit.
March of 2020, my mom was alive. He wrote a letter and he signed it. Notary.
Hold on.
My sister's verification affidavit, and she signed more for her part, or she signed document affidavit fraudulently. She signed it, and so I have some breaking information. But just wanted to tell you that. So in March of 2020, well, this is something I know already. March of 2020, this lawyer, the same lawyer that wrote me this letter, which I have not opened, but my brother opened his letter. March of 2020, my mom was alive. He wrote a letter and he signed it, and his wife was the notary on my sister's verification affidavit, and she signed more fraud on her part. Or
Can you hear it now?
So I have some breaking information.
Too fast and breaking up. I'm not really getting it.
Okay, it should be playing slower now.
Just wanted to tell you that. So in March of 2020, well, this is something I know already. March of 2020, this lawyer, the same lawyer that wrote me this letter, which I have not opened, but my brother opened his letter. March of 2020, my mom was alive. He wrote a letter and he signed it, and his wife was the notary on my sister.
You getting this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Verification affidavit, and she signed more fraud on her part, or she signed the document affidavit fraudulently, saying that they sold the property that I'm living in, and the property about an hour from here that my mother owns. Yeah. That's a mistake. Where are you going to
breaking up too bad.
This, you know, I put it in this group several times, but whenever someone enters, it was entered, and just mailed it to me, stating that possibly, but well, of course, it's federal. Said they listed what was owed, what properties they can use to pay off. AEIN number, is that something that can be utilized, or does that have to? Do we have to wait to use that per se for Go ahead, yes. Where was I? Okay, I read the document I was talking about anyway. Was that this same lawyer who's acting as court examiner now? That's what he's doing. He's saying that they're to pay off my mother's estate, the probate. The only thing that's available, he's saying, is the property that's an hour from here, where there's no house on the property. He's not listing the property that
Jesus, hold on.
everything was think
Let me
that
get past this
he's
guy.
acting as.
Yeah, let me get past this guy real quick.
All right.
I got a the plaintiff, so the plaintiff had an attorney. The plaintiff signed the writ of execution, and her attorney. I got a copy. You know, court examiner is supposed to be impartial, so he didn't retain her, but they're on his office, and my sister notarized something in the Here's Hagen versus Turner. No, also, I read the dual retainer, so I'm well, malicious abuse of process, where it defines the elements, because that's what this would be. So for search of truth and everybody else. Also, because among other, instead of other things, it's actually a sin. So let me say this. If you want to talk to me, the best way you can do it around this without looking you in the eye and telling you that they're going to commit treason.
This is what happened in your case.
By not giving you your remedy by operation of law, or denying you your remedy by operation of law.
It's breaking up, man. I'm not really getting it.
You can't get away from it. Say that. I was going to say, I don't know why I'm the only one bringing this up. And I've heard everybody talk about the name change and how it doesn't work. But I've never heard anybody talk about what they do when it doesn't work. And that's what I'm talking to you guys about. What to do when it doesn't work. Like I said, they're just going to let you walk out of there with your multi-billion-dollar estate. They got you right where they want you, and they don't want you going. They don't want you reclaiming your own estate. If only 10 people do this, and we've already got 6 of them now. But if 10 people do this, and it starts catching on, and I promise you, when I did that 12-hour marathon, Guardian Trinity and several other close people told me it went viral. Everybody's talking about it. I see stuff on TikTok too. Well, I mean, everybody's talking about the name change. Now, I understand there's a class going on this weekend somewhere on Telegram that you got to pay $500 just to get into the class, and all they're talking about is the name change. And for the record, people. And then step 3, reclaim the estate and do not let your foot off their neck until you receive it. All I have to do is one individual individual all the way through. And then at that point, the sky will open up for the rest of us. And that's because of, again, the federal due process. And if it's good for one, it's good for everyone. Equal protection under the law. They say the statutes are law, fine. Fine. Statutes are law. Give me equal protection under the law. Okay. I understand your question. You got to sworn out. Let me ask you this. Have you called the sheriff's office and got that sworn? No. Okay. You know, warrants are public information, right?
Not in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, they refuse to show me mine. And this is why Oklahoma is going to be paying me a lot of fucking money here really, really soon. Fuck you guys, Oklahoma.
Yes. Okay. You want to call the sheriff and tell them that your friend can get a copy of the warrant. What's the warrant for? Is it a criminal charge or civil?
It's a civil. It's like a traffic ticket. They stopped me. While they stopped me on my way on the road, they said I don't have driver's license, insurance. I was having a private tag, and they said I resisting arrest. You know, the regular excuse that they said.
Okay, so how much are they wanting for the ticket?
I saw a bill come for $750.
Okay, you already got a bill from them?
Yeah, I did get a bill from them. Yes.
Okay, so it's either pay the 700 or they're going to call you into court.
I'm willing to pay the 700, but for get it watched. But they said they have a benchmark because I didn't turn up, but I filed some documents that me and Akeem and Trinity put together.
Okay, well, the reason I want you to get a copy of the bench warrant is because I don't believe it exists. It's actually what it is a last warrant. It's where they put on a computer screen, they put you in some computer system saying that you stop this guy, bring him in. But warrant signed by a judge. I do not believe. Also, the ticket that the cop gave you when he stopped you on the side of the road, was it signed under penalty of perjury? Well, it's an allegation by a municipal officer. What was the probable cause for stopping you to begin with? Did you get that far with it?
That's what I asked him. He said because of my license plate, I don't give him probable cause.
That's correct. That does not bring the probable cause. That is correct.
He asked out and said, "Oh, he's a sovereign citizen," and he called his colleagues on the radio, and they go to work from there.
Can somebody put Jay's notice for his Administrative Procedures Act that you carry around in the vehicle with you? Can somebody post that for this gentleman? I saw it on here a couple days ago. I know it's on. You didn't carry this in your automobile, sir, but 700. I can some interest, which is the notice to appear. Did you sign the ticket?
No, I didn't sign no ticket. They took me out to jail for 3 days.
Oh, you mean when they stopped, they took you to jail right then and there?
Yes.
Okay, did they charge you bail to get out?
Yes, for $2,000, but it was they said it's a little bit traffic ticket infraction, as they say. But I sent a use of concrete, and it disappeared the case in the next county, and they owe me for that case.
I tell you what, because I know Trinity and Akeem, and I know that probably whatever they would file would work. So what I would be curious for you to do is to secure a copy of this alleged warrant. You want to see the judge's wedding signature on it, and you want to see the probable cause statement that accompanied the warrant. You want to see the seal of the court as well on the warrant. I bet you.
How can I get rid of the misdemeanor that they placed on my record? Because I wrote nuclear and refinement, and because I
You can't have a misdemeanor without a trial. Trial.
I never turn up to court because of the document that I'm mailing, which is the document pursuing the court.
Well, where do they have anything? Because you said you didn't sign the ticket, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, they don't have anything. They don't have any contract whatsoever.
No.
I'm sure Hakeem and Trinity and their paperwork make note of that fact.
We did quite a few ones. One of the judge um leave the case accused herself, but his next judge took it up, and seems like she wasn't budging because we sent back that use of fuckery, and she just ignored it. All right.
Okay. You didn't have an attorney, correct? You never had an attorney?
No, I don't.
Okay. I don't see I don't see the nexus, but did Hakeem and Trinity, did they challenge jurisdiction?
I don't remember offhand because this was like last year, early this year, last year.
All right, look, here's what you do. This was what state are you in? What state was this in?
It's happening in Florida, in Broadcom.
Okay, Florida's very corrupt. So I don't understand how Florida can have such great governor and such corrupt courts, but they do, folks. Trust me. He's going after one of these black bro pirates, right? Actually, I should say ADA and myself are going after one of these black bro pirates ourselves. But right now, but here's what you want to do. You want to call the county where you received the ticket. You want to call that county sheriff's office and ask for the warrant officer. And when you get the warrant officer on the phone, you say, I've been advised that there is a warrant under this name. Can you please verify there's such a warrant in your system? All warrants have to go to the county sheriff's office. They have something called a warrant book. For the warrant officer, and you tell the officer to give you the information on the warrant. Is there a signature by the judge? And if so, what is that judge's name on the warrant? If he tells you he can't give you that information, or you have to come down, you just say this. Well, my understanding of the law is that warrants are public information. Well, fill out a form to get public information.
Okay.
And if he didn't give it to you, then have a friend or Hakeem or one of your other friends calling for it. And just keep calling them every day. Hey, I don't have that information. We're supposed to get to me. Are you guys purposely hiding this warrant? Is there something faulty with the warrant? Actually, this warrant, it actually did get a hold of one. Well, I can't say one. I got a hold of several deputies over the country that were warrant officers that were honest, and in several of them, probably in all of them, they have something called the dead pile. It's where they put all the warrants that came in unsigned, no seal, no probable cause statement. But usually a judge's warrant ends up on a computer and it's called a glass warrant. I know this to be a fact. And a glass warrant is not a warrant as defined by law. So you want a copy of the warrant. That's what you're at. Find out if the warrant actually exists first. And then go ahead. We'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, find out if it exists. You're gonna tell me what you're gonna do.
All right. Well, that was Ed on Georgia, and Ed was about to go into how he believes that 90 to 95% of all warrants are improper, and it's fair to say that he's probably not far off the mark there, as it is. It's probably generous, to say that some of them are valid. Probably generous, very generous. All right, let's see what we got here. The glass warrant. It only type of search warrant that is only permitted when police can provide evidence that a search will likely yield. So this is probably not going to have anything to do with my dude's fucking stuff. Let's see what we got here. So it says there are several requirements for warrants in New York State, including search warrants. Application can only be made or can be made orally or in writing and must include the name of the court and the applicant's name and title, a statement that there is reasonable cause to believe that the evidence from a crime can be found at that location. The allegations of fact to support that statement, the name of the police officer to whom the warrant will be addressed. That's going to be a big one. I've never seen that on a warrant. A description of the property that is to be searched. And then a warrant of arrest must include the name of the issuing court, the date of issuance, the name of the offense charged, the name of the defendant to be arrested, the police officer to whom the warrant is addressed, and a direction to arrest the defendant and bring them before an issuing court. Now, this is not state specific for anybody but New York, but this is going to be an important element, as they will not probably likely have this present on the document, voiding it in ab initio nunc pro tunc, which means from beginning to end, from then till now. The application must contain A, the name of the court, the name of the title of the applicant. So that's the officer that's asking for it. A statement that there is reasonable cause to believe that the party or that the property of a kind or character described in section 66 or 69 690.10 may be found in or upon a designated or described place, vehicle, person, or in the case of um, uh,
NYCRIMPROC Law 690.35. 1. An application for a search warrant may be in writing or oral. If in writing, it must be made, subscribed, and sworn to by a public servant specified in subdivision 1 of section 690.05. If oral, it must be made by such a public servant and sworn to and recorded in the manner provided in section 690.36. 2. The application shall be made to a local criminal court, as defined in section 10.10 of this chapter, having preliminary jurisdiction over the underlying offense, or geographical jurisdiction over the location to be searched when the search is to be made for personal property of a kind or character described in section 690.10 of this article, except that I. If a town court has such jurisdiction but is not available to issue the search warrant, the warrant may be issued by the local criminal court of any village within such town or any adjoining town, village embraced in whole or in part by such adjoining town, or city of the same county. 2. If a village court has such jurisdiction but is not available to issue the search warrant, the warrant may be issued by the town court of the town embracing such village or any other village court within such town, or, if such town or village court is not available either, before the local criminal court of any adjoining town, village embraced in whole or in part by such adjoining town, or city of the same county, and 3. If a city court has such jurisdiction but is not available to issue the search warrant, the warrant may be issued by the local criminal court of any adjoining town or village court embraced by an adjoining town, within the same county as such city. B. A local criminal court, as defined in section 10.10 of this chapter, with geographical jurisdiction over the location where the premises to be searched is located, or which issued the underlying arrest warrant, when the search warrant is sought pursuant to paragraph B of subdivision 2 of section 690.05 of this article, for the purpose of arresting a wanted person. Any search warrant issued pursuant to this section shall be subject to the territorial limitations provided by section 690.20 of this article. 3. The application must contain a. The name of the court and the name and title of the applicant, and b. A statement that there is reasonable cause to believe that property of a kind or character described in section 690.10 may be found in or upon a designated or described place, vehicle, or person, or, in the case of an application for a search warrant as defined in paragraph B of subdivision 2 of section 690.05, a statement that there is reasonable cause to believe that the person who is the subject of the warrant of arrest may be found in the designated premises, and c. Allegations of fact supporting such statement. Such allegations of fact may be based upon personal knowledge of the applicant or upon information and belief, provided that in the latter event the sources of such information and the grounds of such belief are stated. The applicant may also submit depositions of other persons containing allegations of fact supporting or tending to support those contained in the application, and d. A request that the court issue a search warrant directing a search for and seizure of the property or person in question, and e. in the case of an application for a search warrant as defined in paragraph b. of subdivision 2 of section 690.05, a copy of the warrant of arrest and the underlying accusatory instrument. 4. The application may also contain a request that the search warrant be made executable at any time of the day or night, upon the ground that there is reasonable cause to believe that it cannot be executed between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., or 2. the property sought will be removed or destroyed if not seized forthwith, or 3. in the case of an application for a search warrant as defined in paragraph b. of subdivision 2 of section 690.05, the person sought is likely to flee or commit another crime, or may endanger the safety of the executing police officers or another person if not seized forthwith or between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m., and b. a request that the search warrant authorize the executing police officer to enter premises to be searched without giving notice of his authority and purpose, upon the ground that there is reasonable cause to believe that the property sought may be easily and quickly destroyed or disposed of, or 2. the giving of such notice may endanger the life or safety of the executing officer or another person, or 3. in the case of an application for a search warrant as defined in paragraph b. of subdivision 2 of section 690.05 for the purpose of searching for and arresting a person who is the subject of a warrant for a felony, the person sought is likely to commit another felony, or may endanger the life or safety of the executing officer or another person. Any request made pursuant to this subdivision must be accompanied and supported by allegations of fact of a kind prescribed in paragraph c. of subdivision 2. Our privacy statement and cookie policy.
All right.
All Thomson Reuters websites use cookies to improve your online experience,
Oh,
serve
yeah.
personalized ads or content, and analyze our traffic. You may manage your choices through
Sweet. Well, thank you. Voiceify? Yeah, voice out. It's a nice little app. Let's see what else we got going on here. Looks like we've lost Chris again. Essentially, there are elements that are required and must be present for the warrant to be valid. And so we're gonna ask my buddy Gemini here. What's up?
Not much, just hanging out in the digital realm. How about you? Anything exciting going on?
Still trying to help a friend in New York State with what we believe to be a void or invalid or completely outright fraudulent warrant, period. Could you fill us in on what elements are necessary as requirements or prerequisites to a warrant being valid on its face, ? Such as an embossed and raised seal? Here we go.
Essential elements of a valid warrant. While specific requirements can vary slightly between jurisdictions, here are the general elements that are typically necessary for a warrant to be considered valid on its face. 1. Issued by a neutral magistrate. The warrant must be issued by a judicial officer who is impartial and has the authority to grant such warrants. 2. Probable cause. The warrant must be based on an affidavit of probable cause, which is a sworn statement that provides sufficient evidence to believe that a crime has been committed, and that evidence of the crime is likely to be found at the specified location. 3. Particularity. The warrant must describe with specificity the place to be searched and the items to be seized. This helps to ensure that the search is limited in scope and does not exceed the bounds of the warrant. 4. Signature and seal. The warrant must be signed by the issuing magistrate and bear the official seal of the court. This helps to authenticate the document and verify that it was issued by a legitimate authority. 5. Date of issuance. The warrant must indicate the date on which it was issued. This is important for determining whether the warrant has expired. Additional considerations. Time limit. Some jurisdictions have time limits for executing warrants. If a warrant is not executed within the specified time frame, it may become invalid. Knock and announce rule. In many cases, law enforcement officers must comply with the knock and announce rule, which requires them to announce their presence and the reason for the search before entering a premises. However, there are exceptions to this rule, such as when there is a reasonable belief that evidence may be destroyed or that the officer's safety is threatened. If your friend is concerned about the validity of a warrant, it is important to consult with an attorney who can review the document and provide legal advice. An attorney can help to determine whether the warrant was issued and whether it can be challenged in court.
I think we'll be able to handle it well enough, my friend, period. We are not afraid of reading here, period. Can you tell me more about numbers 1 and 2 from your original response, please?
1. Issued by a neutral magistrate, who? The warrant must be issued by a judicial officer who is impartial and has the authority to grant such warrants. This could be a judge, magistrate, or justice of the peace. Why? This is crucial to ensure that the warrant is issued based on a fair and unbiased assessment of the evidence. It helps to prevent abuses of power and protects the rights of individuals. 2. Probable cause. What? Probable cause is a legal standard that requires the magistrate to have sufficient evidence to believe that a crime has been committed and that evidence of the crime is likely to be found at the specified location. How? This is typically established through an affidavit of probable cause, which is a sworn statement by a law enforcement officer or other person who has knowledge of the facts. The affidavit must provide a detailed description of the alleged crime and the evidence supporting the belief that a search will uncover incriminating evidence. Why? Probable cause is a fundamental requirement for any search warrant to be valid. It helps to ensure that searches are conducted on a lawful basis and that individuals' rights are protected. Remember, if you have any concerns about the validity of a warrant, it is always best to consult with an attorney who can review the document and provide legal advice.
All right. How does one go about challenging this in
Challenging a warrant in court. Challenging specializes in warrant challenges. They can advise you on your specific case and help you determine the best strategy. 2. File a motion to suppress. The attorney will file a motion to suppress evidence, outlining the specific grounds for challenging the warrant. Common grounds include lack of probable cause. The warrant was issued without sufficient evidence to support the belief that a crime was committed or that evidence would be found at the specified location. Overbroad warrant. The warrant was too general and allowed for the seizure of items not related to the alleged crime. False or misleading information. The affidavit used to obtain the warrant contained false or misleading information that influenced the magistrate's decision. Excessive force. Law enforcement officers used excessive force during the execution of the warrant. Any evidence seized during the search will be excluded from the case. Note: the specific procedures and requirements for challenging a warrant can vary depending on the jurisdiction and the nature of the case. It's essential to consult with an attorney who is familiar with the laws in your area. Would you like to know more about specific grounds for challenging a warrant or the potential consequences of a successful challenge?
how are ways that officers can bungle up their job and make a warrant invalid by their actions?
Ways officers can make a warrant invalid. Officers can inadvertently or intentionally make a warrant invalid of the warrant. Seizing items not specified. Officers should only seize items that are specifically listed in the warrant. Seizing additional items can invalidate the search. Expanding the search area. The warrant should specify the location to be searched. Expanding the search beyond the designated area can render it invalid. 2. Violating the knock and announce rule. Failing to announce. Officers must generally announce their presence and the reason for the search before entering a premises, unless there are exceptions, e.g., danger, destruction of evidence. Excessive force. Using excessive force the announcement
ሰላም ለእናንተ ይሁን ወንድሞቼ፣ እንዴት ናችሁ? ባለፈው በሰራሁት ቪዲዮ ላይ ስለ ሜገን ዲ ስታሊን አዲስ ዘፈን አወጣለች እና ክሊፑ ከመውጣቱ በፊት ነው ያንን ቪዲዮ የሰራሁት እና በጣም ፖዚቲቭ የሆነ ፊድባኮች፣ ኮሜንቶች አንብቤያለሁ ከእናንተና በጣም ብዙ ሰው ደግሞ አያውቅም ነበር፣ ባለማወቅ ነው የእጅ ምልክቱን ዴቪል ሆርን ሳይን የሚሉት የአውሬው ቀንድ ምልክቶችን ብዙ ሰው የሚጠቀም ነበረ። ክሊፕም ያው ከሷም ሰላም ለእናንተ ይሁን ወንድሞቼ፣ እንዴት ናችሁ? ባለፈው በሰራሁት ቪዲዮ ላይ ስለ ሜገን ዲ ስታሊን አዲስ ዘፈን አወጣለች እና ክሊፑ ከመውጣቱ በፊት ነው ያንን ቪዲዮ የሰራሁት እና በጣም ፖዚቲቭ የሆነ ፊድባኮች፣ ኮሜንቶች አንብቤያለሁ ከእናንተና በጣም ብዙ ሰው ደግሞ አያውቅም ነበር፣ ባለማወቅ ነው የእጅ ምልክቱን ዴቪል ሆርን ሳይን የሚሉት የአውሬው ቀንድ ምልክቶችን ብዙ ሰው የሚጠቀም ነበረ። ክሊፕም ያው ከሷም ዘፈን ጋር አያይዞ የተለያዩ ዳንሶችን የኛም ልጆች ሲሰሩ ነበር እና ያ ባለማወቅ ነው። ግን በጣም ብዙ ሰው ብዙ ወጣት እንደነቃና ኮሜንታችሁን በማንበብ ነው እንደዚህ ምለው እና አሁን ግን ያ እንግዲህ የሰራሁት ቪዲዮ ክሊፑ ከመውጣቱ በፊት ነው። እኔ ጀስት መድረክ ላይ ባቀረበችው ፐርፎርማንስ እንደገና ቫይራል ወጥቶ ነበር። ክሊፑ ከመለቀቁ በፊት ሰው ሁሉ ተቀባብሎት ነበር። የኛም ልጆች አበሾች የተለያዩ ክሊፖችን እየሰሩ ነበር በዛና ከዛ በኋላ ግን ዘፈኑ ቫይራል ከወጣ በኋላ ግን ሜገን ዲ ስታሊን የራሷን ክሊፕ ለቃለች ማለት ነው። ይሄ ክሊፕ ደግሞ በጣም በቃ እኔ ከሰራሁት ቪዲዮ ጋር በደንብ የሚያረጋግጥላችሁ ኮምፕሊትሊ የሰይጣናዊ የሆነ ምን ብዬ ልንገራችሁ፣ በጣም አደገኛ የሆነ ክሊፕን የሰራችሁ ገብታችሁ ማየት ትችላላችሁ። ይሄ ግልጽ ነው። እንደነዚህ አይነት ነገሮችን አውጥተን ማህበረሰቡን ለማስተማር ስንመጣ የነ ጀዝቤል ግሩፖች ደግሞ ይመጡና ለምን እንደዚህ አታረጊም እንደዛ አታረጊም ይላሉ። ሰው ካላወቀ እንዴት ይማራል? መጀመሪያ የመናፍስቱን የሰይጣኑን ዓለም ማወቅ አለብን። ያወቀ ላላወቀ ሼር ማድረግ አለበት። ከዛ ከእንደዚህ አይነት ድርጊቶች ይቆጠባል። እና እነዚህን የሰይጣን ጠበቃ እንደገና ደግሞ የጀዝቤል ስፒሪት የሚጫወትባቸውን አትስሟቸው። ምክንያቱም እዚህ ሚዲያ ላይ ፐርፐዝሊ የሚላኩት እናንተ ማይንድ ኮንትሮል ለማድረግ ነው። እነሱም አባላቸው ፐርፐዝሊ ቪዲዮ የሚሰሩት እናንተን ማይንዳችሁን አታክ ለማድረግ ነው። እና ስለ ጀዝቤል ደግሞ ለብቻው ቪዲዮ ሰራበታለሁ፣ የኤልዛቤል ስፒሪት። ከዛ በፊት ግን አባቶችን ያው ብዙዎቻችሁ ታውቃላችሁ ብዬ ገምታለሁ። ግን ምንድነው ይሄ ስፒሪት? ለምንድነው እህቶቻችንን ሴት እህቶቻችንን ይሄ የጀዝቤል ስፒሪት የሚጫወትባቸው ብላችሁ አባቶችም እግር ስር ቁጭ ብላችሁ ተማሩ። ምክንያቱም የጀዝቤል ስፒሪት ሰይጣን የሚጠቀመው ከወንድ ቀድሞ ሴትን ነው። ምክንያቱም ሴት ላይ ቪዥዋል የሚታይ ነገር አለ እና እዚህ ሜገን ዲ ስታሊን ክሊፖ ላይ ያሳየችን የነበረው እሱን አሁን ዲቴል ገባላችኋለሁ። ያንን ነው፣ ይሄ ጀዝቤል ስፒሪትን ነው፣ የእባብ መንፈስን ነው እየጠሩ እያሳዩ የነበሩት እና ከክሊፑ ስገባላችሁ እንግዲህ የሆነ ሰው ነው ከበር ይገባል፣ ሱት የለበሰ ሰው ይገባና ሪሴፕሽን ነገር ያለ እዚህ ጋር መታየት ማለት ነው። ለሱ የሆነ ካርድ ይሰጠዋል። ካርዱ ላይ የተሳለው ስዕል የእባብ ስዕል ነው። ተመልከቱልኝ፣ የእባብ ነው፣ መግባት ፈልጋለሁ ብሎ ይሰጠዋል። ኦኬ ካሜን ብሎ ልክ እዚህ ጋር ስታየው ልክ በሩ የሚከፍቱለት ሴቶች ናቸው። አሁንም ጀዝቤል ስፒሪት ማለት ነው፣ የኤልዛቤል ስፒሪት መንፈስ፣ የኤልዛቤል መንፈስ ብዙዎችን የምትጥላት አማላይ ናት። በቁመቷ በቁመኗ በቁንጅናዋ ሰውን ቶሎ የምትማርክ ናት። ሴጣን ሴቶች እህቶቻችን የሚጠቀመው በዚህ ወይ ነው እና ቶሎ ወደ ዝሙት ወደ ተለያየ ነገር ለመጣል ማለት ነው። እንግዲህ በሩ ሳይኑ ራሱ የእባብ ነው። እዚህ ጋር መልቀቅ ስለማይቻል እናንተ ገብታችሁ ኦፊሻል እንትኗ አለ።
All right. Well, that's enough for that. I bet that was fucking hella entertaining. I hope. So I'm just going to grab fucking some quick little blurbs from this live stream that I did with Network King about 3 years ago. We'll see how that goes. Doot. Fucking. Look at that handsome motherfucker right there. Look at that handsome ass motherfucker right there.
Girl,
Yeah.
what country is the Queen of England from?
Damn. You say Europe?
She didn't say anything. She said, I don't know.
Man.
And then the worst one, which wasn't very encouraging for the future, he literally showed a clock. You know those clocks in school? We move the hand, the forehand, and the middle hand and everything. He said, what time showing? What time is it showing? You know what the dude did? It was at 2 o'clock. So he said 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 2:45.
Damn. Yeah, I get that kind of shit on occasion. Like when you say a quarter till, and somebody's like, what are you talking about? Quarter till.
Man, it was 10 till, and he said 2:45. That's the world. That's the world we're in now.
Yeah, boy, that ain't no joke. But I mean, it's that Austrian fucking school system, man. They brought in them Frankfurt dudes from the Frankfurt school, you know what I mean, and just fucking bombed on us. My grandma used to say that, you know, they didn't start teaching globe earth and shit like that until the 30s. And you go looking back at when they passed all these public school laws, there were a few states on the East Coast. I can't remember if it was Vermont, maybe. There was a few states that fucking, for the first like 2-3 years that they were making this mandatory public school shit, they would have the militia walk the kids to school and home so that them teachers wouldn't get their little propaganda shit all up in their ear, you know?
Yeah, so they've been pushing it for a long time and finally pushing through, huh?
Yeah, well, it's like that.
You know, right?
This is the
to the point that it's at.
Right. This is the fucking.
People pass that off as reality.
I mean, God, man, in the very like easy bake oven sense, I could get that because like those are the same people that it is what you make it, and you know, whatever. And that's supposed to an extent, you know, like. If you think you can sing well, but you're tone deaf and everybody else knows different, but you sing well to you, then fuck, I guess you sing well. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, like it's yeah, it is.
Battle of Texas. You know, it's about flipping everything, making the males women and women males.
Yeah.
And you just tell them what it is. They do the whole conspiracy theory thing. You know, they do the whole
coincidence theory now. Like
I said, I knew somebody that was a political science professor, and and I started telling them about Libra Code and enemy trading with the Enemy Act, and
man, I bet that went over like a fart.
Repercussions of the Civil War of 1865, you know, like protests. I used to go to like peace brutality rallies and stuff like that. People did you know, families that lost their son and their brother to the police brutality. You know, they got shot or whatever. So we take over an intersection, play music, you know, and then just like raise awareness of what's going on in town and everything. Cops would roll by and troll, you know, the people in the cars. You know, we try to go out and like hand flyers out and raise awareness, but they had to get to fucking Burger King. You know, that was more important. Or Starbucks or whatever.
Right.
So
where you can go harass.
So I was into that. I was in Anonymous at one point. You know, I used to walk down Hollywood Boulevard with a Guy Fawkes mask on, stare down the cops. Used to know I was in the Matrix.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am very scary. Now, this evening I've had the distinct pleasure of being your host, Kevin Michael Talbert, the one and only Bleak Narratives at your service. And tomorrow I will be history. So go your good way, brothers and sisters. Cheers.